Who spells Clara with a K? Have you ever heard of that in your life? It's the stupidest thing I've ever fucking heard.
Take yourself to like a 14-year-old. Do you think what you would think is cool is to hang out with like an idiotic robot?
Just to set the scene, we're in a diner. So it's like clang, clang, you know, coffee cups, coffee's pouring.
Johnna, are you playing the diner or are you playing Rick?
I liked it.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Meme Book Club. This week, this time, we read Clara and the Sun by Kazuo Ishiguro. Did you guys like it? Yes, no? We'll talk about it.
That bitch stole my name. I can tell you right now that
I was being a robot.
It didn't read.
It didn't read.
Yeah. No. I only half committed, and I know that was my fault.
Mm-hmm.
Should I do it again?
I don't think so.
No.
Okay.
I think cede your time at this point.
Okay, sure. I'm one of the hosts, Sarah Burton.
Hey, what's up? I'm Clara Morris. You might have heard my name in the title of the book. It totally sucks that happened, but we'll try to put a brave face on.
Hey, I'm Johnna Scrabis. My name will never come up in the title of a book or as one of the characters. It'll never really be heard outside of this podcast.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Where's the Johnna representation?
It's not out there, baby.
And I'm Sabrina B. Jordan. There are books written about me, movies,
Right.
TV shows, comics.
Okay. Wow. All right, guys. This book. Why, Johnna, can you tell us why we're reading this?
Oh, yeah. I don't really know. So it was some sort of mistake. So I'll be honest. It made it to our list. And all that I had written next to it was Kathy on Twitter recommended it. And then today when I went to look up, like, why did we read this? Why did we take Kathy's recommendation? The only thing I could find on Twitter was someone from our account asking, okay, something totally unrelated to the cast. I need a good book. Seriously, something really good. And then someone named Frau Stein responded, Clara and the Sun. And then,
oh my God. No, I can't believe that.
We trusted you, Johnna.
I really don't know how this happened. I mean, I remember when I saw it on our list and I was like, whoa, this man is a Pulitzer Prize winning novelist.
I thought it was bold.
Yeah. And I was like, wow.
I thought it was bold, but then I read it and I was like, okay, I get it.
So, but I'll be honest, no one recommended this book to us. No one. No one said read it. No one said make fun of this like 69-year-old gentleman that seems like a beloved author.
No, I think I'm ready to rip this one.
Wow.
Okay. I just feel like in all our promos, we have to go back and be like, it's not all fan recommendations this season.
It was a fan recommendation. It was a recommendation.
It was a recommendation of a good book.
Yeah.
Of a good book.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? That makes it fun. These kind of mistakes. This is why people like it.
I guess. I don't even know how something like this happens.
You know?
Yeah. Huh.
Would an artificial robot, artificial face, what does the F stand for in the book?
Friend.
Oh,
Friend.
would an artificial
Clara.
friend make a mistake like this? This charming little mistake we've made?
Perhaps.
Perhaps, yeah, honestly.
My
All right,
only
guys.
question is who even is Kathy on Twitter? Like, where did that come from? Maybe it was Frau Stein's name before she became Frau Stein. I don't know.
I do. Well, it's a mystery. Kathy, if you let us know what we did wrong.
Please.
And if anyone knows how to copy and paste a link from a tweet to Google Doc,
It would come in handy in the future.
Yeah, we'll have to look into this. All right, guys. Well, how did you read this book?
I had to purchase an audiobook, which totally sucks because the libraries are all, full. What's it called?
Okay.
Waitlist. You know.
Dang.
Yeah, even though, they could easily share an audiobook with you, but they pretend they're limited numbers. Doesn't make any goddamn sense.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Please don't insult the library.
The Brooklyn Library, I have a complaint. I listened on
Get
an
'em.
audiobook that I got from the Brooklyn Public Library, but you cannot renew digital items.
Oh, that's weird.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
That's hard.
It's a problem for some of the later items that I got in digital because I got them well in advance, but no, they're not read yet.
Right. Well, I do, from what I understand, the library is not fining anymore. So I don't know if you can hold on to those digital copies.
But they snatch it back. They snatch it
Yeah,
back.
so I'm reading our next book and I keep going into airplane mode to read it, but I'm afraid that I'm going to mess up one.
All right, good, smart. I also got mine audiobook from the Glendale Public Library. I'm a little disappointed, so no one read a physical copy.
No, I did.
Oh, you did, because I
Johnna
actually...
hadn't gone yet.
You didn't care to ask.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Remember this at the end of the cast.
John, I want to
it's
hear
been
about the
noted.
physical copy, though.
Okay, it was wonderful. It was big.
Not its texture.
No, I do.
And the texture. I want to know.
I have heard talk of the texture of this book.
Wow.
So I feel we should talk about it.
Absolutely. So let me just get right into it. The book was really big, which was disturbing. But then once I opened it, it actually was only 307 pages and the font was kind of large. And the pages themselves are rather thick. It's sort of it has a feature of
Like
when
a
you
board
turn a
book
page.
for a
For a
toddler.
little bit. Yeah, what do you mean the book was really big? Like, was this some sort of stylistic thing? Or it was just like
The book
a
itself
book?
was big. And the
Was it
pages
still-
were thick, you see.
Was it still like a book?
Yes, it was a book. It wasn't
More
like I
than a
couldn't
normal
chew
book.
on it. I couldn't get it wet. It had paper. And the cover. So let me first talk about the outside cover. It was covered in that library plastic, the plastic sleeve that protects the books.
Oh, no, that's no good.
And so that had, I would say, a similar feel to the other books that I've read that have had the plastic sleeve cover. There's
We've heard
definitely
about
a-
it.
Talk
We've
about
heard
that.
about it.
Don't need to talk
Heard
about that.
Okay. So then within that, I can only guess and imagine what it might have felt like. Based on what I saw, I thought it might have been craggy.
Ridiculous.
And just for our listeners who don't know what craggy means,
Yeah. Yes,
Not
Like
me,
the
I'm not-
Astro crag.
I know what it means.
Like
So sort
cliffs.
of, yeah, like, do you know that old-fashioned paper that is like, sometimes you'll get something printed for the wall and it's like flowers are pressed into it. It looks kind of like paper mache. I got that sense that if I could have reached under the plastic and touched it, it would have felt like that.
Wow.
But of
Sarah,
course, there
does
was
that
no way
live
to
up
do
to
that.
the hype you heard about the cover?
How could it possibly?
Certainly. I mean, it was really the weight of the pages I had heard about, so I wanted to hear from a reader. So thank you so
It was
much.
incredible. Every time you turn a page, you thought you were turning two, and you'd check, and nope, it was just the one.
That sounds bad.
No, it made you fly through.
I could see it being lovely, honestly. The audiobook for me was painful, and I can't believe that this was a short book. I doing short book in quotes because it felt like it took forever with the audiobook. I don't know how you guys
It was
felt.
maybe the one you could speed it up really a lot and not notice that it was sped up whatsoever.
Because it was a robot talking, so
And it was
make
like just
more
the
robotic.
slowest book we've ever
in the
read.
world. Yeah.
Somehow. Yeah.
I like those though because it's easy to space out and come back in.
I agree. You don't miss a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. I guess, but there was so much vagueness in this book that I was like, well, I must have missed something because I
Yeah.
was spaced out. But then I go back and I missed nothing. And
Okay.
I was like, well, God damn it.
Is
Yeah.
this the section where Sarah reviews her thoughts, or is this about the cover of the book? Are we talking about the cover?
I think
We're
it's how
still
we read
in
the
the
book.
cover.
We're talking about how we read the book. Oh, my God. Okay, Sabrina, please sum it up.
Okay.
Please.
So we're gonna do a summary a little different today. There's but one roll.
Okay.
Oh, I
It's up
wonder
for
who
grabs though.
Me.
It's up for grabs.
Is it
Oh, I think I
whoever,
grabbed it.
whoever what? What color are your
Okay.
eyes? Green.
Everybody gets to say one thing under
Okay.
10 seconds, and my favorite of those things gets the roll.
Okay. Sabrina, you have the most wonderful jolly cheeks.
That's insulting.
Oh
Jolly,
Like a-
jolly ho 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 Santa Claus.
Yes, exactly like Santa Claus, a beloved figure, and they are
people don't want to
no,
be told.
Old man.
no, it's nice, and I know it's nice, and I know Sabrina likes it.
All right, fine. Let me go. Sabrina, when I was reading this, there was one character that stood out to me that is being similar to you, and that character was the sun.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
That's good. Gotta laugh. I don't like that.
Yeah. I'm not going to go the suck up route because that rings a little false. I'm just going to ask Sabrina to remember all the wonderful times we've had together one-on-one without the other two. And should I even talk about our secret time we have when everyone else gets off the Zoom call and we have just us? It's nice.
What?
Damn.
Sounds not very secret since you're talking about it now. How special is that?
It is
Sarah?
nice.
It is nice.
It'd be nice to be invited to that, by the way, Clara.
I can't.
No,
And I wasn't talking
there's
about-
no space in the Zoom, actually.
It's a two-person thing.
That's fine. I'm hungry usually.
So I liked all of them. And I understand what you guys are saying about Johnna's, but I think Johnna has some backstory to it. It's like, that's what my mom liked about my dad's cheeks and that I got them. So it hits better than it sounds than just being called a big old fat man.
Which was part of it, though.
Hey, I'm sensing a butt coming, and that makes me nervous.
Clara, I did like yours as well.
Wow.
I do love our special times, although I feel like you said you weren't going to go the suck up route, but then kind of did anyway.
Oh, our
Disingenuous
friendship is
as
just
hell.
talking about our friendship is sucking up, I guess. It's interesting.
And
Wow, our friendship's so
Sarah's-
valuable.
Sarah's I liked as well, because it was suck uppy, but it was funny. And so based on all those, I'm going to pick Sarah for the role.
Damn it. I knew it as soon as
But
it happened.
thank you all for coming out.
You've set Sarah up as someone who's going to be attacked throughout the podcast.
I also I recognize now that the summary has me reading for Clara the robot, and I pretty much failed a robot
great.
impersonation earlier. So maybe
That's
this can
true.
be redemption for me. So we'll see. All right, guys.
Yeah, we'll see. Go ahead.
I am Clara, a highly observant artificial friend. I am nourished by the sun. My companion is Josie. Josie is sick, but Clara believes, no, she knows, that the sun has special healing powers and the sun will cure Josie. It is almost like the sun is God. Almost. If sun fails Josie and her mother is alone, Clara will help. Most important thing is Josie happy and Clara see the sun.
I think that was
pretty
really good.
That was really
It
good.
was
Wow.
That was
really
really
good. I couldn't have done
looking,
better.
Yep. I was looking to pick it apart.
Yep.
And here I am saying it's good.
God.
So
I found one sort of textual error with the summary, with the writing, but luckily Sarah was able
Well,
to push
it was,
past that and still deliver a strong performance.
Here's the thing is that robots don't always speak perfectly because they're robots. So maybe it wasn't
That wasn't
error.
the issue.
It was
no, it was an
thoughtful.
error.
Wow.
Clara 1. I'll call her Clara 1, and then Clara, you'll be Clara 2. Clara 1 in the book always calls the mother, not her mother. So it just doesn't make sense. The way you
That-
wrote it, her mother, didn't make
That
any
is
sense.
true. I was afraid that wouldn't read in the summary, and I actually did deliberately make that choice. But I take the note.
Hear that, everyone? Sabrina thinks you're too stupid to understand if she had used the instead of her in the summary.
Wow. Okay, somebody is coming out hot.
Just saying, I guess I respect the rest of the group
That's
more
pretty good.
than that.
Wow.
All right, Johnna, you want to do your jugs?
Yeah. Okay. I just really whiffed on this one. I'm really sorry, and next week it's going to be better. But
don't
it's
forget
more.
the McDonald's theme song.
But it's Johnna's jugs.
Hi,
everyone.
All right, let's go.
Hi everyone. Filling in for Johnna's jugs today. This is her associate, and I'm just an intern here, and I really wasn't able to do a very good job. But what I came up with this week was something that was in Johnna's fridge. It is a limited edition Southern Tier Brewing Company Imperial Pumpkin Stout Warlock. And we like that because it's witchy and spooky, which is a little bit similar to artificial intelligence.
Okay. Also, Clara, our main character, was in some ways, a limited edition version of the AF.
So true. She was a B2, not a B3.
And she loved the sun, and that has pumpkin in it, which grows from the sun.
Oh, yeah. Sarah, do you want to add something?
No, I don't. I thought about it, but I don't want to. No.
Wait until next week.
All right.
Just wait.
Great. I'm sure that's what everyone's listening for and what they'll
Liquefied
come back
money.
to hear. All right, guys. We got to talk about this book, but let's go to a quick commercial break first. We'll be right back. And we're back. We're talking the book. We're talking the author. Johnna, tell us about it.
Happily. Okay. Clara and the Sun debuted at number 6 on the New York Times fiction bestseller list. And you know, if you listen to the cast, that's a real bestseller list. It's not one of the weird ones. That's like the one. For the week ending the 6th of March, 2021. It is the 8th novel by the Nobel Prize winning British writer Kazuo Ishiguro, and it was published in March. It is a dystopian science fiction story. It is set in the United States in an unspecified future, told from the point of view of Clara 1, a solar-powered AF artificial friend who is chosen by Josie, a sickly child, to be her companion. The novel was longlisted for the. I know.
Yeah. The sick kid.
I'm at least happy the sickness was sort of vague. That we didn't have to get into details.
We were happy about that?
No, it was. I hated that.
I hated that too.
Very annoying.
Okay, the novel was longlisted for the 2021 Booker Prize, and in July 2020, Sony's 3000 Pictures acquired the screen rights.
I will not be. What is that going to be, a TikTok? I don't understand. It's not enough.
The author, born in 1954 in Nagasaki, Japan, moved to Britain in 1960 with his parents when he was 5. He is one of the most let this sink in and reflect on our choices.
All right.
He is one of the most critically acclaimed and praised contemporary fiction authors writing in English, being awarded, as we said, the 2017 Nobel Prize in Literature. In 2017, the Swedish Academy described him as a writer, quote, who in novels of great emotional force has uncovered the abyss beneath our illusory sense of connection with the world. He has been nominated for the Man Booker Prize 4 times and won for his novel.
Though, has he?
Oh, yeah, no,
and won for his novel The Remains of the Day, which a lot of people have probably heard about because it was adapted into a film.
Won some Academy Awards, I think, too.
Sure, that's not in the summary, but I trust you.
Okay.
Salman Rushdie praised the novel as a masterpiece. Time named the book Never Let Me Go as the best novel of 2005 and one of the 100 best English language novels written between 1923 and 2005, which seems like an arbitrary period of time.
Maybe there was some really good stuff in 1922, so they had to cut that out.
Yeah.
Okay, he is married to a woman named Lorna McDougall, and she's a social worker. They've been married since 1986. They met at the West London homelessness charity in Notting Hill, where he was working as a residential resettlement worker. And I have a little story to tell about them in case you don't already just love them so much.
I don't.
I'm annoyed at them mostly because of the tone of voice that you're adopting.
I don't think I want. I don't know if I want to hear this.
Okay. For the Ishiguro household, 5th October 2017 was a big day. These are in UK tabloids, so that's why they write the date all funny like that.
Oh, great,
was a big day. After weeks of discussion, the author's wife, Lorna, had finally decided to change her hair color, but they say it like color.
Yeah,
she was sitting in the Hampstead salon, not far from Golders Green in London, where they had lived for many years. All gowned up and glanced at her phone. There was a news flash. "I'm sorry. I'm going to have to stop this," she said to the waiting hairdresser. "My husband has just won the Nobel Prize for Literature. I might have to help him out." Oh, my God.
Help him what?
Yeah, what do you
Probably
mean?
Win? What does he have to do?
He already won.
Probably should go, help him, you guys.
I don't
Probably
this makes
respond to
sense.
tweets.
It sounds like
All
she's
right.
just doing a little bit of bragging to the hairdresser.
All right. I got a few thoughts about Ishiguro. Obviously, he's got a lot of street cred, okay? A lot more street cred than most authors we read, okay? We can all accept that. But and I want this to help us in our criticism of it. There is, I believe that, like, there is a kind of like a saying or a curse kind of thing where authors who win the Nobel Prize in literature, often all the books after they win are shitty or, like, are never the best work. They go downhill. So
That none of the books that were praised in Johnna's outline here were included this book.
So let's remember this. Maybe this guy is a great author, but maybe he's lost his touch, okay?
I mean, this book was
Phoned it in.
shortlisted for the Booker Prize.
Okay,
That's a
But
pretty.
it didn't win.
I mean, but okay, it was
He
He
long.
probably
listed.
had to. They were like, "Oh, he won a Nobel Prize. We have to put him on the list."
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that's how it works. Make him feel good, you know.
Mhm.
What does he want? One book every 5 years? Come on.
Give it a rest.
Lazy piece of crap.
Yeah, honestly.
I won't have him
Why
spoken
don't you go
of this way.
volunteer for charity at the resettlement worker? You know.
Yeah. Are
You-
you a writer or are you a volunteer?
You are all so uncouth.
Oh my god. Though. Okay. I think this will be fun though. I'm already getting the sense that we have differing opinions on this book, and I think that's going to make for a good cast.
Yeah. Who spells Clara with a K? Have you ever heard of that in your life? It's the stupidest thing I've ever fucking heard. Is that supposed to be creative?
I
It's
liked
not.
it.
British.
Strong.
Oh, Clara. is
Yeah, I think
British
we should
with the-
say like Clara.
That's what my mom wanted me to be called, and my dad was just like, okay.
Oh, really?
Okay, slowly over time, I'll just change it to Clara.
That's so interesting. All right. But this book, the main character is Clara. I wrote that she's the Johnna of robots. Who agrees?
That's so mean.
I'm so offended by that.
Well, notice
Even though she's
under
a
the sun,
hero.
you didn't write the
Oh,
Sabrina
yeah, I'll
of.
fix it.
Makes you think,
Sabrina of
Sabrina, how
Suns.
sincere any of her comments were earlier.
Sabrina of stars.
Sarah, what does it mean to you that she's the Johnna of robots because she's willing to give her own life for her friend?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
she
it's a little-
loves too much, too kind.
Yeah. It makes me sad.
For the reader, just to get a little idea of how Johnna sacrifices for her friends, we were going on like a long car ride, and Johnna, the tallest one, was like, I'll sit in the middle the whole time.
She also the one who like starts feeling sick when she's not in the front seat.
Yeah. So everyone just like, Johnna, sit in the front.
Here it is now becoming a source of ridicule.
All right. But no. So the big thing about this book is it's all from the perspective of Clara one, as Johnna said. All
Jesus
from her
Christ.
perspective. Which I don't necessarily think is like on its face a bad thing, but like I
Here's
don't
the
really
thing.
know if I
I
enjoy
liked
Toy Story already did it, and they did it better. This is like, what if Toy Story was extremely boring?
Yeah, truly. I just thought, we also the other big thing about this book is just that nothing happens for half of it. Like you spend half of it waiting for her to get chosen. So like she is a robot made particularly for children, and to like in this future time they are all, I guess, like at home. They don't really. They're very lonely. So she's an artificial friend.
All school
and
happens
so-
virtually.
Yeah,
I can't
so-
imagine that any children in this world are not sickly.
Right. It is. I think there's so much that we don't know. Also, so we learn stuff as though we already know it. Like Clara is referred to as an AF, and I feel like maybe a third way you finally find out that's artificial friend, which is sure fine. Maybe you could have guessed that, but it's like I don't know. There's stuff like this over and over again. Just information's given to us, but we don't have context.
I agree with that. I would say it's extremely vague to the point of you're like, does the author even really know what this is? And there are certain things they're from the perspective of Clara, and you think it's going to be explained later, like through context, you will
Yeah.
learn what these things actually are. for example, there's this one thing, there's a machine that stands outside the window and just pollutes. Its whole job is just to pollute. And Clara calls it the Cootings machine. And the whole time I'm just like, I wonder what this actually is. Is it like a bulldozer? Is it something that like filters air? And you never learn. It's just some weird, strange, futuristic machine, to my understanding, that's only job is to pollute. And that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Could be a truck.
Yeah, I mean, we just do not know.
I assumed it was some sort of construction equipment, and I think that's as far as the author got as well. It's just like, is this there? And the robot misunderstands, and it actually has another purpose.
Yeah. My question though is, so she's a robot, and I guess I said children because I thought they were children most of the book, but it's actually for teenagers, right? More specifically. Which
Josie is 14.
Yeah, she's a teenager. I just had trouble believing that Josie, the character, was 14 because she, to me, acted like a child, like a much younger child. But sure.
I thought she was like 11.
I'm just like, can you take yourself to like a 14-year-old? You're a teenager. You know you hate your parents. You think you're better than them. You understand the world. The world's like stupid. Everything's holding you back. Do you think what you would think is cool or what you would want is to hang out with like an idiotic robot? Like, is that something you think a teenager would be into? I just, on its face, I do not accept.
Yeah, a robot your parents bought you and was like, here's your new friend. Go upstairs.
No, they try to give me a real friend. I'm like, fuck that guy. You know what I mean? I don't understand the premise.
It feels more like a present for like a 7-8-year-old for sure.
Right. And
what like half the book, like Sarah said, is the robot in the store waiting to get bought. And the way the customers and our main customer buys her, Josie, relate to her is very much a child. It's like, Mama, I want that one.
Yeah.
And like, the only exaggeration there is saying Mama instead of Mom. It's like the way a baby would talk. I want that teddy bear. I don't see.
It was
weird. And it is like, Mom.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. There's also like, I just really feel like the author does not understand how children talk, because there's also a character, Ricky, who's kind of like Josie's boyfriend / like childhood boy best friend. And he says things like, "Aw, heck, Josie," like, all's hell to that. And it's just like, I at first thought like, oh, maybe this was written in Japanese originally, and so there's some sort of like translation issue with the way that these characters talk.
He's just British, that's all.
Well, and maybe British children do maintain nerdship a lot longer. They're little losers.
It's possible. I was very confused because in the book, he and his mom have a very British accent, and I know it's mentioned in it that like, oh, he went through a phase where he wanted to be British, but I was like, why does he still have this accent? Like, what is going on here? That never was explained or made sense to me either. Why?
I don't know.
Well, if your mom is the person you're talking to the most, then.
But I don't even know if this explicitly said she was British. That's why I was confused.
I think it did, right?
Oh, I thought it just said like he wanted to pretend to be British when he was younger.
No, they were actually British.
Okay. All right.
I hate to defend.
I totally very much could have missed that because, like I said, I had to keep going back.
Pay attention because nothing's happening, so what's the point?
Right. So, yeah, she's a robot. She's staring out the window. I guess some of it, the opening, I was okay with it initially because I was like, oh, we're going to see things from her perspective and it'll slowly be revealed. I thought that could be interesting. She has her own perspective of like the beggar man and his dog are homeless man. Yeah. He's sleeping at night and she thinks he's dead. And then in the morning, the sun comes out and he's awake. And so she then believes the sun has saved him. And she also is solar powered, but she becomes this sun god worshiper, which I guess, we can talk more about that. Oh, interesting that AI also develops a belief in God or a religion.
Well,
but like,
I did think that was interesting. Like, I thought that was an interesting component of the book is like the sun represents God, but to her, who is powered by solar, in a way, it kind of is like her life giver,
Right.
etc.
And I agree with that in terms of, she's powered by Serle. That makes sense. But it's like, she's a robot. She must be like a smart robot. That guy was asleep. You're an idiot. Like, you're a bad robot. You're not smart if you think that guy was dead. And then you, from that, assume that the son was the one that made him alive and didn't think, oh, there could be... I predict in my head there are 5,000 reasons that I didn't see it that could have made him wake up, or like she just immediately jumps to it. And I'm like, you're an idiot robot. And then also like later on when she's like praying to the sun and all that, she's like, I'm going to make a sacrifice for you. I'll keep it a secret. And I'm like, where'd she get this? There's no, where's this from? This isn't like, it's not like she's repeating secrecy, or I couldn't figure out like,
right,
why
it was like
that component came out.
Yeah, so all of her behaviors are sort of learned or deduced from what's around her, and she's supposed to be really good at picking up on what's around her. But you're right, Sarah, there was no making a sacrifice, so God helps you.
Okay, she's also supposed to be really good about picking up on things, right? But she doesn't know what phones are. She calls them their oblongs. Like the entire book, it's like the man stared down at his oblong. The woman was engrossed in her oblong.
Yeah,
You're
so
absolutely right. I actually thought like, oh, that's the new name of the iPhone. But now that you say that, I'm like, oh no, she just didn't know. You're absolutely right.
But yet she knows, like, she's like, there's the sewing machine, like, there's there's the egg beater, and it's like, okay, but you couldn't pick up on cell phone.
I feel like that one was the author like trying to make us feel like smart, like, oh, they'll figure out that oblong means phone, and that'll give them a little thrill. You know what I mean? It was.
I do love a little thrill.
Okay.
Yeah, but.
I didn't get a thrill from that. No.
Oh, you got a thrill from that.
I think it defensively could be what they call phones in this dystopian future.
Sure.
But even if that's true, if you're not going to change like a lot of details, it's weird to pick that one.
Right. So let's talk about this future dystopian world. Some of the other rules. Their kids, like I think we mentioned, they're more lonely. They're just on technology. There's this thing called lifting. Some kids are lifted. Yeah.
Which
you don't know
is
what the fuck that means until like the end of the
last
book.
page. They're like, by the way, lifting is when you get artificial gene intervention and your genes get changed to make you a little bit smarter.
Being edited. So it's just a dumb, I don't know, made me so angry that was not till the end.
Because it makes it seem like it's like just tutoring. It's like a gifted program. It's like all these kids are in a gifted program. And the one guy, Rick, isn't. And they make it seem like that's the difference. But it's not. It's this weird gene thing, which I think would have been interesting because everyone's asking like, Rick, why didn't your mom want you to get lifted? And he doesn't really have an answer and we don't really know. But if it's something like it's gene alteration,
I would have liked to know it
insight.
earlier because when we found out, it made me like question a bunch of things that happened because it was like, oh, is that why she's sick? Is that why the sister died? Is that like, why do they do it if it makes people sick? Or like, I just had so many freaking questions and it was annoying to end the book with like this it's not like I'm having questions about life and the nature of it. I'm having questions about like what made sense, what happened in this world and what did I just read? Yeah, it was annoying
that
to me.
Reminds me of something, and I guess maybe Sarah, you're getting at it, but I didn't really get this one part where like all the moms are talking, and the one mom is like, "Why didn't he get lifted?" And then Josie's mom starts crying, and the other mom starts crying, and it's like, "Sorry, I asked that question. What the hell is going on?"
Yeah, you're right.
Was that because it made her sick?
I guess at the end it's because like it killed Josie's little sister Sal when she got lifted.
And almost killed Josie. I don't understand when the lifting happened. It's like, was this like a gene editing in utero and they didn't know what was going to happen with it? Or did like the daughter die and then they were like, you know what, let's try it again. Like, I don't know what happened. I don't understand the moral issue with the mom.
Maybe I wasn't paying attention, but it wasn't clear to me that the illness came from lifting.
No, I don't think it was completely clear, but I feel like that to me was like
that
the
makes
only
more
assumption
sense.
I could make.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it definitely did. Like they revealed that at the end. That because it was.
Yeah, I mean,
they talk about would you have done the same thing if you had known what could have happened? And Josie is like, yes, I'm glad I got lifted, even knowing how it turned out for me. She tells the mom, I'm glad you
No, Rick
lifted
tells
me.
the mom, because I'm sure she didn't really say that, because that would be wild.
Even though I'm dying and I'm not going to have a rest of my life.
I'm so happy you did that, Mom.
It is so crazy. I mean, oh my gosh, maybe this is just like a commentary though, because it's like colleges won't accept children unless they've been lifted, but lifting can cause serious illness or death.
But like but that's not. What is that
It
commentary
is-
on?
It's a commentary on
Pushing your
how
kid too hard?
the post-secondary education system should be publicly funded.
I don't think that was.
I think you're meeting the author more than halfway.
But anyway, that's one part of it, okay? But I actually wanted to hear you guys, what you guys thought was going on before we had the, like, reveal 3/4 the way through the book of, like, what the portrait really was.
Oh, yeah.
Because so initially Clara gets adopted by Josie and her mom starts out as like, oh, can you walk like her? You're supposed to be observant. And she does it. And she's like, great. Okay. Then there's then like we find out Josie's sick and it's weird. I thought initially this is Munchausen by proxy. I thought like
I did too.
That the mom's evil. There's something weird. This is what's happening.
Yeah.
For what
kind of
it's worth,
excited.
I would have liked that book better.
I do too. I was
Yeah.
excited. I was gonna like
Because then the robot could have saved her and it would be just so clear cut.
Through the robot's skills of observation, she would have seen what no one else had seen. It all came
Exactly.
together
It
in my
would've
mind.
worked. It would have been great, but no, that wasn't what was happening. But like she does, at one point, I guess we're watching from Clara's point of view, and Josie wants to take her to see a waterfall because, like, I guess a waterfall is so fucking cool. I don't know. And
Weird bone to
Josie-
pick. That I was fine with them going to a waterfall.
Yeah.
All right, well, whatever.
They are
Losers.
cool.
No, Sarah, you're wrong on this one.
Okay, robot who's only been inside just gets to see a waterfall. Like, I think there's a lot that the robot needs to see. Okay.
I don't know. I mean,
New
the
York
robot
City is
doesn't need
fine.
to see technology. They need to see nature. They are technology.
Yeah, she gets confused by that. Also, wait, actually, you reminded me of this. Was there there was a reference when they're going to see the waterfall and Josie doesn't come because she's too sick. I thought the mom was lying at that point, but I guess in retrospect she wasn't. I guess.
I don't know what the fuck happened there,
there.
to be totally honest.
It was really a
Confusing,
fucked up situation.
Yeah, so the mother takes Clara instead. Even
So
though Josie
just
can't
mom
come.
and robot. Will go. Josie's friend robot goes with the mother. It's like if the mother took a doll to the waterfall.
Well, it does make a lot more sense after the reveal. I was like, yeah.
then she
Yeah, it makes the
has-
mom even.
Yeah, more fucked up.
I would say.
At one point, doesn't Josie see like a bull or something? She sees like a bull. and it's
The
like-
the robot sees the bull.
Yeah. Clara.
Oh, I'm
It's
sorry.
like-
I meant Clara. Yeah,
Clara
I meant Clara's.
won.
Clara
I think we
one
just call
sees
it the
bull.
robot.
What was I kind of am. What was
It
that?
seemed a little aggressive towards bulls. It was like it's evil incarnate, and you're just walking by a bull. What a weird! It's like who, when you see a bull for the first time, don't you think you'd be like, "Wow, it's so big, it's interesting"? But
Right.
no,
I
she-
thought it was like symbolism of some sort, and I didn't understand it. And I thought maybe there was something, but I mean, or there was nothing. I believe also.
I can think of a symbolism that I don't think it is, and I really don't like, so I'm not going to say it.
Okay.
Anti-Semitic symbolism.
Oh, okay.
I don't
sure.
think it is, though.
All right. All right.
It's like a lot of
well,
anti-Semitic things say, like, horns, and
mhm.
I don't
Okay,
think that's
okay,
what it
okay,
was.
okay.
I didn't
That
get that.
seems-
Yeah.
Well, at the waterfall, like we mentioned, the mother has Clara pretend to be Josie, and then like as pretending to be Josie, Clara's like, "I'm going to get better," and then she's like gets upset.
Yeah, and she's like, "What do you know some sort of robot secret about health and the advancing technology?" And The
And
robot
she
gets
basically
her hopes?
is like, yes, I do. Like all these people, she's like, yes, I know something. Don't worry about it. Just help me. So all of these human adults are like, okay, I guess you're our daughter's last hope. We'll stop communicating with the doctor. Just take your word for it, Clara. Clara's
Just
secret?
Clara, you B2.
Clara's secret?
Yeah, what is it?
That she thinks every day the sun goes somewhere into a little house and that she can go talk to the sun. And if she gets rid of pollution from the Cootings machine, which may or may not just be an idling truck, we never know, we never learn, the sun will do her a favor and save Josie the way he saved the beggar man and his dog, which again, a man was asleep and then the sun came up and he woke up.
It's like, just to hit Toy Story, go back to Toy Story again. It's like if all of these human adults believed Buzz Lightyear when he was like, I'm a real superhero astronaut and I can fly to space.
And they were like,
They'd
all
be like,
right.
yes, fly to space. Get to the space medicine for us there.
What I will say is it does seem to be a stark commentary on going to church, though, right? Like, people go to church because it's the house of God. It's where God comes. Clara goes to the barn because it's where the sun comes.
She thinks. I don't know
One
why
could
she...
say that neither of those things happen.
Yeah. Truly. Well, anyway, also, wait, the first time Clara goes to the barn. Oh, you know what? I'll just bring this up after this commercial break. Sorry. What a teaser.
People are dying to know.
The first time she goes to the barn.
All right, we're back. Okay, so Claire goes to the barn, and this is where I was confused, so I need someone to help me here. My interpretation was that she saw the mom pulling something out of the ground, and it was a robot of the dead daughter. Is that something that happened, or is that how did you guys interpret that?
Yes, there was a time where Sal's robot, because the mom initially tried to make a replacement daughter out of her younger daughter that died, Sal, was by the barn. And I think the whole project failed because, and this is kind of the point of the book, actually. So this will be pretty profound, what I'm about to say. But
okay, all right.
The major question of the book is, are we, in essence, our heart and our soul, and can that be transferred to something else? Can you take our personality and put it into a machine and still have it be us? And the author answers that question by saying, no, you can't do that because you are who you are because of how people see you and love you. So you are, like, he's actually saying less that people have a heart and a soul that's unique to them, but more that the world around you has a relationship that's special to you, and that's what makes you special. And so the premise is that's why you could never take someone's personality and put them in an AF, because the people around them will always know somewhere inside them that it's not really you.
Oh, I feel like you could say, well, if the mom just didn't know that was her daughter, it would have worked. But because she knew it was a robot, she couldn't accept it. I don't know. But I also, the bigger thing about this was this, I bring this incident up because I was like, is she keeping the robot like chained up or underground or something? Like, what's going on? And I was like, the more evidence that the mother's so fucked up, but like never comes back again. Right?
I think she just had her, like you'd bury any dead pet.
But we didn't see her around, so it was like she was hiding it, keeping it on or alive or whatever, and then it's like trying to escape, and she drags it back. I was like, it felt very, very evil, and like something bad was going on, and it was nothing ever came back to it.
I
Yeah.
think I fell asleep for part of this book, and I
fair.
think it was this part because
You're
I
just
have no
realizing
idea
now?
what you're talking about.
Okay.
Okay.
It was also like so vague. That's why I'm asking, because I was like, because you're all hearing from Clara's perspective, so the way things are described are so odd. But I'm like, I would like to know what's going on. Nope.
Yeah, it is interesting. I mean, that doll for Sal was definitely very different than what they're trying to do now. Like, it was just supposed to be a bereavement doll. It wasn't actually supposed to embody her. And I think that
Wait,
the
where
mom,
are you getting that?
well, because they say it at the doll maker.
The doll maker says that Sal was
That
not
does-
supposed to last long.
It was just supposed to be a bereavement doll. It wasn't supposed to be a replacement for Sal. So it was like,
Why is it
it's not
running
that
around?
project didn't. Well, it's still an artificial. It's like a little robot person. But the point was that it wasn't actually supposed to replace Sal. It was just supposed to like help fill the void as a bereavement doll. And so
Okay,
I can
see,
Why is
imagine
she
that the
being evil
mom
about it?
I can imagine that the mom wanted it to be a replacement, even though it wasn't ever going to be, and she hates / loves it.
Okay, weird that that's the only moment we see it, or
Yeah,
I
because you
think
sleep
very
through it, you miss the whole part. You miss
thought
the
that was
whole
pretty
point
odd.
of the book.
Also, I guess we could talk about Rick and Clara's relationship. Again, they're teenagers, but they talk.
Rick and Josie.
Oh, sorry, Rick and Josie. They talk so odd. It's so stilted. All the kids do, and I'm like, is this just? It felt like he was writing like really poorly, and then it was just like, well, it's the future, and people don't know how to talk. It just felt like an
And they're-
easy
yeah.
out for like
They're
why
isolated, so they talk weird.
Yeah, well, I was like, why is this so bad? Why is the conversation feel so bad?
Like when the two sisters were trying to bully Rick,
Yeah.
and they kept being like, what kind of movies do you like? And he would say something, and they'd be like, but you mean action movies, right? And I guess they were like trying to call him dumb. It's like,
But I was like, I didn't
kids are
get it.
mean. Kids aren't subtle.
Yeah,
But
usually
anyway,
if
that
you're a
was
bully,
annoying.
you've gotten good at it. And so you have better things to bully, to say.
And that whole section took, I don't know how many pages it was, but in the audiobook, it felt like forever.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, he'd say a type of movie, they'd say, you mean action movie? And on that went. On and on.
Yeah, so that's a relationship that, and especially the mom, Rick's mom, I could not understand, like,
Oh,
that
was
that
so
relationship
confusing.
felt so weird and fake, and like her whole personality was like, what is this? This isn't a human. It just
Yeah. Before we meet her, she's like portrayed as sort of like crazy.
or like and
like
can't be left on
something
her
like
own, or
Yeah, yeah.
Very fragile, also. Like, she could snap at any moment.
I thought she was like a drunk or something, like, or she
Yeah.
had something going
Yeah.
on like that.
In reality, she's eccentric. Like,
Yeah.
at
lightly
most.
eccentric. Yeah.
Yeah.
She
Like
seemed
maybe
she had a pretty
maybe-
good plan to get her son in college, like in terms of like, oh, I know somebody. I don't know. It
Oh,
was
yeah,
like,
that was so
okay.
funny. Can
I'm
we
going to
talk
take
about
issue with calling it a very good plan to get her son in college.
The
Actually,
reveal.
I think this would be an amazing act out now that I'm thinking about it.
You're so right.
We should do it
Do
because
it right now, right
Yeah,
here.
we should. Let's just
Let's
do it
do it,
right now
let's do it.
because it's such a crazy plan. Okay, so we need
Can I be the college guy?
Yes, you can. So Sabrina is going to play the basically chief admissions officer at Atlas Brookings, which is the only school that lets non-lifted children in at all. So this Sabrina's character is the only person that could potentially give little Rick a chance to go to college.
all right, I'll be Rick's mom.
Great. We need a Rick and we need a Clara. Or whatever you want. Clara too. whatever
What's
you
Rick's
want.
mom's name again? Does she have a name?
Uh,
The mother.
She, Helen.
Helen.
That sounds right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, Helen. I guess I'll be Clara.
Makes sense. Okay, so Clara 2 will be Clara 1, and then I will be Rick. Okay.
Right.
So we are in a, just to set the scene, we're in a diner. So it's like clang, clang, coffee cups, coffee's pouring.
Johnna, are you playing the diner or are you playing Rick?
Rick, tell him about all of your robot birds.
Yes, sir. So I'm Rick. Oh, hell, I'm nervous as hell, sir. I make these robot birds, and they fly through the sky, and they fly as a flock, and I design them. And I think they're just here. There's some special son of a guns. I'll pull out some of my drawings from my bag if you want to see. I have them prepared, even though this was supposed to be a random meeting.
Seems nervous.
Young man, that sounds very impressive, although it is a bit odd to me how your application is coming across my desk.
Oh, yes, sir. Well, I'm not asking for any favoritism or anything like that.
I'm asking for favoritism. I want you to do a favor for me.
Oh, geez, Mom. Oh, Clara.
Helen,
Mom.
I can't begin to fathom that you don't know how strange this is.
What? I'm being direct.
Clara senses tension.
Rick, you seem like a fine gentleman, but
Oh, thank you.
here's the
Thank you so
thing.
much.
Helen, you didn't talk to me for years.
Right. Well, the bygones be bygones.
Oh, geez, Mom. Is this your
But I
ex-boyfriend?
tried to contact you so much. And Rick, I don't want you to think I was stalking her.
Rick, this
in the
isn't
beginning.
your father. Rick, this isn't your father. Don't ask.
No, this is that guy that sometimes tried to get in touch with you, and you said just fuck him.
Yeah.
You said that?
He was stalking me.
I was not stalking.
Oh.
In the beginning, did I communicate a lot? Yes, but I never crossed the line into harassment.
5
and,
different cell phone numbers I went
well, listen. We were together for 5 years.
Okay.
And then you just disappeared.
through. Okay. Look. All right. You're right. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry I did that. Please help my son get into school. And you know what I'll
This is
do?
so
I'll
awkward,
hit
Mom.
myself. I'll whip myself every day. And just so you can see how guilty I am about what I did. And then I'll see you in a year and I'll show you my whip marks so
Mom,
that you know
geez.
I'm so sad and I feel so bad about the naughty girl I was all those years ago.
I don't want you to do that. That's not what I'm asking. What I'm asking is for an explanation as to why you just left after 5 years.
Okay, yeah.
Clara senses.
And you want me to get your son into college?
So, will you do it?
Jeez. No, I don't want it anymore.
You know what I'll do? I'll take my underwear and I'll sell it. I'll sell it
No.
on eBay.
No.
I'll sell it for $20. Cheap, real cheap. And then I'll even write a little note with it and
jeez.
spray it with perfume and I'll do it for you.
Oh, geez, Mom, put your breast away. Mom,
Oh
put your
my
left
God.
breast away.
Do
Jeez,
you want
Jesus
to see
Christ.
this?
Jesus Christ.
I mean, I would take a peek.
Oh, Jesus.
There is someone drinking coffee in here.
Clara, can you focus up on what's important, Clara? I need your
Clara,
emotional
stop
support right now.
facing the window and just it's more awkward.
How do you turn around again? Claire continues banging into the window for the rest of the conversation.
Jesus.
This went well.
Scene.
No.
Wait, did I miss a good part?
No, I think we did it.
No, you did it. I mean, the other thing I'd add is that, like, it seems like this woman just completely ghosted this guy for 30 years and then was like, by the way, I'm just here to ask a little favor. And he was like, oh, I've been waiting for this fucking moment.
No, but this one, I thought it was weirder on the guy.
What?
I thought it was weirder for like 30 years. He seemed obsessed with her. I was like,
Well,
wow,
there's
dude.
also the part
You're
where
talking
she
his
left
sons
him-
right there. You know, like,
Yeah,
it was so weird.
There was also the part where she left him a really mean voicemail.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
some
yeah.
scathing, cutting voicemail. How would you guys react in that guy's situation? Someone who was cruel to you when you were young, a bully, an ex, contacts you 30 years later for a favor?
I mean, actually, I have a pretty bad memory, so
I'd probably be
I
fine
would
with
be
it.
fine with it.
If
Yeah,
I could do
actually.
it and the kid was smart, it'd be like, yeah, I would be like, I'm doing this, but it's not, like if you felt like you needed to bring it up, but it's not really about us because, we didn't end on a good note. But I think you're been smart. If I can help him, I will. That's how I would handle it. I thought it was so strange how he replied.
I think I would ignore the request.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I wouldn't do. I wouldn't set up the meeting just so I could be like, well, you want a favor? Well, I'm about to shit on your documents.
But he also does actually let him in, doesn't he? Doesn't he get in the car?
Yeah, I think he does.
No.
I think he doesn't.
It's not
at least
at all
he
how the
doesn't
book
go.
ends.
Oh,
okay,
what?
Go on, John.
Oh, I thought he did.
No, he doesn't. No.
Well,
let him
doesn't
in.
he?
He
I thought he
doesn't go to
got in
college
but
at the
didn't
end?
go.
Yeah, I thought
Got in,
that's
but
what
didn't
happened.
go.
He got in.
Okay, maybe he gets in but doesn't go. Okay, I came in with a
Because
hard.
maybe
no one
he
knows
felt
how to
pretty
answer that,
weird. He felt pretty weird about how he got
It's
in.
possible.
Let me tell you about the end of the book. I got so many times to the part where it was like, this has been an audible presentation. And then I rewind back. And then the next thing you know, they're saying, this has been an audible presentation. Again. Rewind back.
That
so
also
it's
happened to
really
me.
hard to pay
So
attention.
at the same time this weird act out we just did happens, the other big reveal is, like we've talked about, you find out Clara's been hearing about Josie's been getting a portrait done. It sounds weird. It sounds like maybe a weird sexual thing. It's something the dad's against it. It feels like something fucked up's happening.
That's what
here.
made me think it was like not. I was on the train of it's a weird sexual thing, but
No.
I felt like the dad being like, I do not know how I feel about this. I was like, this can't be molestation.
I didn't think it
because-
was that either, or molestation.
I thought it was leading there. Like he's taking creepy.
Oh, I thought it was
pictures
what
of
it was. Like I thought it was that. Oh, they're making her.
Well.
Well, but look, I couldn't figure it out. I was like, because this was also the time where I was very much so in belief that there was that the mom was killing her daughter, and I was like, why is she also making a robot version of her daughter? Is it so nobody knows she killed her, or if she accidentally goes too far with the poisoning? I was not at all in the realm of like, oh, she's doing it just in case her daughter dies, but she's afraid to tell her daughter that that's why she's doing it. I wasn't on that realm.
I mean,
was
I'd be
there.
afraid to tell my daughter I had no faith in her living as well.
Yeah, certainly.
Tricky thing to say.
Oh, honey, I am not secreting your life. Certainly not.
Certainly not good use of the secret. Certainly not. The dad character was weird. He showed up halfway
Oh,
through.
yeah.
He was like,
The
Paul.
dad character kind of pissed me off because it was like, why is the dad so cool and the mom's like this huge weird bitch? It's like, that's not fucking fair. That's not fucking
and he like
fair.
was living on like a compound of some sort, and there was like weird things of like, you're a fascist. I was like, what's going on? I don't understand at all what was
No,
going on.
and it seems like he got replaced by robots at his job.
Yeah, I got
as
that.
Right,
an
but
engineer.
he was an engineer who's been replaced by robots, so it's like, okay, that's the future we live in. But then this fucking kid Rick is trying to go to college to be an engineer, so it's like,
I know.
are all those jobs replaced by robots or not? Like, what the fuck?
The dad seemed like he was fine, that he wasn't in society anymore, but like I don't understand where the fascist part came. And then they kept talking about roving gangs and it being unsafe, and I was like, what is this? This sounds like maybe something more interesting, but it was mentioned. Just it felt like somebody improvised a line and then nobody wanted to touch it. They were like, nobody wanted to yes and it. They're like, that was weird what Jim said. Let's just ignore he said that. I didn't.
Yeah.
But this
What
is
did you
the
guys
opposite
get
of
from that?
improv.
Do you think
I
that
ignored
the
it.
fascism in that world is like there's the social hierarchy and people should be at the top and robots are a class below?
But it didn't seem like
This
that.
was not explained. Just
no,
a question. I had.
I was confused because I felt like they were referring to the dad as a fascist, but I was confused because I was like, he seemed like the nicest one, or like the one that like treats
Yeah.
Clara more equally. So I didn't understand where the fascism thing was coming.
He like barely talked to Clara.
Okay, but it was
At
because
first,
at
but that's-
first, yeah, but then
Because
like he
he's gonna
helps
be
her.
she's training to be the replacement daughter, so he's a little weary around.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Reasonable.
Sure.
I
But then he
also-
helps her,
yeah,
which
he
is
helps her.
hilarious.
So funny. So funny. Nobody, and I mean, just like Rick helping her get to the bar, nobody needs any explanation of what she's doing or what's going on. They're just.
So here, well, we can explain. Clara, the idiot, thinks that she needs to appease the sun by destroying that idling truck that she thinks pollutes. So she like needs to destroy it. And then she asks the dad how to destroy it. The dad knows what it is, knows that there's more than one, and somehow believes this idiot robot
Doesn't tell her that. Doesn't be like, there's
Doesn't
lava.
tell her
Allows
that there's-
her to like drain her brain fluid out of her head so that she only halfway functions for the rest of the book. So I don't know how she even wrote this memoir, to be honest.
Yeah, I also
like-
was like, does that mean he's evil at first? I was like, is he trying to kill her? Because that sounds ridiculous. Like, why?
Right.
Why
right.
would
It
this
could have been
fluid?
Yeah.
placed to- just the fact that he wasn't like, I don't think vandalizing one piece of construction equipment will have an effect on saving my dying daughter. Like he didn't think of that. He's supposed to be smart. He didn't
Everyone's
think
just
of that?
like,
I don't know.
and her like
All of these characters, keep in mind, have been virtually educated now for who knows how many decades. So this might ultimately be an indictment on like what happens when the public school system fails and we're left with purely
certainly.
online learning. Is people are like, okay, I guess that could be a medical cure for my daughter. Just making this
one-
truck
one
break
truck.
down.
And then the only way to make it break down is to put the robot brain fluid into it. It's like, what if you bashed it with a baseball bat?
I also thought she was solar powered. I was like, what's this fluid?
Yeah, what's this fluid?
She does it. And but unfortunately it doesn't work because she realizes later that there are a lot more.
Yeah, on the same trip out of the city, after she's destroyed the one, she's like, oh shit, there's another one at the car window.
Pretty
It's
funny.
pretty funny. It's pretty funny. The dad is like, okay, let's take this one bulldozer down.
Yeah, you
That
said
was-
was he just like bored? I don't know. I couldn't understand. what
Yeah,
It doesn't make any sense.
It
Like,
doesn't.
yeah, and
oh,
like,
they can't get another one to replace it. Like, what?
no, they can. It doesn't make
Right,
sense.
no, I
And
know.
then- oh yeah, okay.
Right.
okay.
I was like,
I
was
I
like,
I know, but
I-
Clara's friend
and
does
the
not
dad.
know.
I thought the
She's
dad
only a-
maybe was like a part of some underground group that was like going against these pollution machines, or like I don't know. I thought I was trying to justify it in my head as to like why would he go along with this, but like none of my
None of it.
imagined
Also, why
justifications were true.
isn't he in Josie's life? Like they're divorced, but the dad's like, I wish I could see you more. He sees her like once.
Yeah,
a
I
year
don't
or
know,
something,
other than she
and
doesn't
They don't
live
say
there.
why, and it's
Yep,
like this wonderful.
vague.
They seem to have a good relationship. The parents bicker, but why can't he see
I mean,
her
like,
more?
I
Just 'cause
assume-
that
It's
would have
just so easy
complicated
to be
the
a
book?
good dad.
Yeah.
So easy to be considered a good dad. You can
Truly.
tell your kid you wish you saw them more, but see them once a year.
Yeah. If I saw my kid once a year, I'm sure I'd be a much better mom. Jesus.
You'd be more fun, I'll tell you
I'll
that.
be fun. I'd be on. 100% on for that 2 hours.
Today I was listening to a Wheels on the Bus rendition that had, the baby goes wah wah wah, the mom goes shh shh shh, and then the dad goes, I love you. I was like, what the fuck is this?
I know. I thought that was so weird. I like the versions that just say parents say shh, but I do not like adding the mom saying shh and the dad just saying I love you. It's like the mom is trying right now to get the baby to stop crying. The baby's being bad. She's like, but the dad's just like doofus over here being like, I love you. Keep doing it. Keep crying.
The mom's saying shh, 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 and the dad is like, she's so lame. Look at her.
And
I
she
like when you
is.
cry. We should move on. There's not that much to say, but can I tell you a particularly low point in the book for me?
Sure.
Yes.
Sure.
You know how Clara has excellent skills of observation? That's her whole deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At one
Even
point,
for a robot, she's a special robot.
special. At one point, she observes. I don't know what happened there. And this is a direct quote, unfortunately. And this is about Josie. The color of her vomit and her pale feces. and that's something I had to read.
Yeah,
I
Is
had to
that
think
her
about it.
own vomit and feces? Or was Josie's vomit?
No,
and
it's
feces?
No, Clara,
Josie's.
as far as I know, does not eat or
Okay, great.
excrete.
I think I got
Feces.
confused there because I thought, why does she have vomit and feces?
It would be a funny thing to give the artificial friend the capacity to shit.
But like, do you guys think they made them have like,
No.
PPs and vaginas?
Oh, I guess.
Oh.
Well,
Sex
okay.
robot.
I do think perhaps they had PPs and vaginas because, like, the whole idea of her actually being able to replace Josie and Clara wanting to get in with Rick, I was like, what do you think's going to happen? You think you're going to start doing it with Rick, Clara?
Yeah.
Because
Man,
I'm
I
pretty
hate
sure Rick is a real
Hornball.
boy.
Hornball.
Clara's like, anything to make Josie happy. Having sex with Rick would be fine.
That does make me all those pictures that guy was taking, like I assumed they were just of her face, but now I'm like, was he taking like pictures of her whole body? Oh.
Yeah, I think so.
I think so. Creepy.
Oh.
Why would you need to take so many pictures of a face?
Yeah, it's like session number 4 of half-hour-long photo shoots. I
She's
can't
like,
imagine.
It's a portrait. You're an idiot, Josie.
Yeah, Josie's even dumber than the robot.
Yeah. Also, Josie's supposed to have been lifted. Did she seem
How dumb was
smarter?
she before?
Yeah,
How dumb was she before?
honestly. My God.
Like she seemed like we're saying a 4-year-old or like a 7-year-old. She's
Yeah.
supposed to be 14.
Yeah. I didn't.
There's a part where she's playing a video game where she like kills people on a bus, and the mom's like, "Why would you play such a horrible game?" And
Yeah,
she's like,
yeah.
it's just a game, Mom. She like can't. It's just very infantile.
I actually have an answer as the author that I think might shed some light on some of the concerns we've had, if anyone is
All right.
curious.
Go ahead.
Yeah, should
Let's
we
do
just
it.
say what the end of the book is?
Yeah,
Does it
let's-
even
know
matter?
Sure,
it,
yeah.
yeah.
Let's like
If
Sabrina,
I know it.
Sabrina, say what happens.
Yeah, they put her in a yard, which is a junkyard,
Yeah.
and she is in a position in this junkyard.
Oh, Josie
where-
doesn't die.
Oh, Josie doesn't
Oh,
die.
Josie doesn't
The
die.
sun does come in.
Josie
Fine.
doesn't die.
The sun thing
coincidentally.
works. It fucking
Clara,
works.
Clara
I
like,
don't think it
lives.
works. I think it's a coincidence.
The sun's power heals Josie. Clara lives in the attic until Josie goes off to college, and then
It's
they
awful.
dump Clara at the dump yard,
Yeah.
and she's laying there, not near any other AFs, just staring up at this. They don't turn her off. They don't give her the
Yeah,
courtesy
they
of
do a
turning her
slow
off.
fade. They just let it let
A
the
slow
battery
fade,
run
they-
out.
And she just lays there and she stares up at the sun. And then there's a figure coming toward her once, and you get this little glimmer of hope that maybe it's Josie coming to look at her discarded friend. But no, it's the manager from the store who comes by and is like, Josie, you were always one of my favorites.
Clara,
Good
the robot.
girl. Oh, yeah, Clara, you were always one of my favorites. The B3s actually sucked more than you did. Would you like me to put you over next to some of those sucky B3s? And Clara says, no, I like my spot here where I can stare into the sun and just remember each of my memories in order.
It's so sad. She's like, I like it here next to the tin can. Thank you. I mean, people
Hey,
in our
again-
world.
I want to just interject and say, Johnna, that's very much so a Johnna thing to say.
I'm happy here. I'll just, I don't want to bother anyone over there. Plus, there's all this rusty metal here, and I can protect others from falling on it. I like in our world, people treat their old computers better than people in that world treat a fully artificially intelligent, like
Yeah. Yep.
consciousness having creature.
Right.
It's so bizarre.
Yeah.
It was weird. If it was
So
sad.
Bit of a sad ending.
It felt a little like preachy, like back off. We take technology for granted or whatever the fuck you're trying to say. That wasn't
even
built into
know.
the book. You're just trying to make people feel bad at the end. Fuck off.
Yeah, I don't know.
Don't try to make me feel shit.
I don't even know what this meant. I didn't take anything from it other than anger.
No. Yeah. Well, like I said, I drifted off, so that's nice.
All right. Johnna, sorry, you wanted to do an answer as the author?
Yes. I'd like to do an answer as the author. And my question for you, the author, is what inspired you to write this book?
The movie Toy Story.
Okay, great. And how about you, the other author? How did you come up with the idea? What inspired you?
Well, my child had a Tamagotchi pet. And the child was very in love with the Tamagotchi pet. But the Tamagotchi pet was outgrown by my child, and it was thrown in the junk drawer. But then one day it went beep-dee-dee-dee-dee, and I knew that the Tamagotchi was still alive, still looking for us, still looking for life.
Oh, excellent. And Kazu, what inspired you to write this book?
I was eating breakfast one morning, and the toaster out popped some English muffins. And I looked at the toaster and I said, I wonder what that toaster's thinking. I wonder what the toaster's seeing, how that toaster sees things all around it. It's probably different than me. I think I'll write a book from that toaster's perspective. And obviously the toaster eventually evolved to Clara, as we know. But it was originally Clara the toaster, yes.
Thank
Was
you
that
so
a problem
much.
because of the brave little toaster?
Yeah, I was thinking brave little toaster. I also thought of that too.
So I changed it, but I didn't change much.
I made it for an adult. See, the brave little toaster was for little kids.
Isn't the brave little toaster religious? A religious?
Is
thing?
it? I don't know. I just remember
know.
being like fucked
thought
up
it
for
was.
kids.
I watched that movie. That was like one of my hyperfixations as a child. I watched it every night before bed for like
I
a
gotta
year and
check
a
it
half.
out. I remember liking it. If it's religious, I'm gonna be so upset.
Maybe I'm wrong. I've never seen it. I don't know.
I don't think it is.
Sarah, how upset will you be if Kieran ends up just super religious? Like he turns 5 or 6, wants to get
If
saved.
he gets really religious at 5 or 6, I'll lean in because that's funny. That's content, baby.
So the real answer from the author himself is that this book is based on a tale that he made up for his daughter when she was small. And it was originally intended to be his first foray into the children's market.
That makes sense.
And he thought it would be a lovely illustrated book. And he ran it past his daughter. And she looked at him very stony-faced and said, "You can't possibly give young children a story like that. They will be traumatized." Okay, I think that's a little bit dramatic, Naomi.
Yeah.
So you decided to write it for adults instead. And when I read that, I was like, yeah, this completely makes sense. And it is my exact problem with this book, is that ultimately it felt like a very short story intended for children.
Yeah.
And I think it should have been. I think it would have been a great children's story.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it already is. It's been done. Brave Little Toaster
yeah.
Toy Story. It's been done lots of times. So whatever. So whatever.
And really, the people at the Booker Committee agreed with us because they only long listed. They didn't shortlist.
Wow,
Yeah.
there's
Didn't
several
win it.
lists. Is this like how sometimes me book club books we have are like number 36
Yes.
on the list and we count them? Yeah, okay.
So there you have it.
Yeah.
Wrap this up.
What's next? I
Yeah,
want to hate
let's
rate
let's
so
do
bad.
let's
but
do
I-
let's go to a commercial. We'll come back. We'll wrap it up. All right. But you
Get
don't want to
outta
stay long.
here.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be a good wrap. BRB.
Yeah.
One of the best ever, some people are saying.
And we're back. All right. I think we got Goodreads 5-star reviews. If you'll imagine there are many of them, since if you want to act like you're highfalutin and very intelligent, you might
Yeah,
want to give
he's
this a 5
he's the
star.
one to. Yeah.
So this is, I think, Leong's review. She says, "I saw this book many times on Goodreads and in bookstores. Many of my friends read this book, especially on Goodreads. This is the first book I read by author Ishiguro, and I am not sure whether I like this book or not. When I started to read the first few pages, I got lost in the story. I found I was not with the story. I thought I might not like the story. It was hard to understand in the beginning. But I decided to read reviews on Goodreads, and I only then realized that this book is about AI robots. No wonder I don't understand the words like AF, oblongs, boxes, and so on. So I kept reading the book, and now I can imagine the AI robots living with humans. It's a bold and creative story. 5 stars.
Oh, good.
I just thought it was really funny that somebody was like, I don't get it, read some reviews, and it was like, okay, I like it now. Okay, here's Angie. She says, I tore through ARC in less than 24 hours, and now I'm just sitting here with tears in my eyes, completely and utterly satisfied. I love
ARC.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Is that maybe like a previous book by this author?
No, I think, what is that? What is ARC? It's not Clara the Sun, you're right. Mm-hmm. Okay, it must be a different. No, it has to be.
She messed up.
I don't know what it means. We'll keep going.
It's a typo.
I love Clara, the insightful and noble artificial friend, and I wish she were real so that I could hug her and tell her how much she means to me. This book is all my favorite things rolled into one. Sci-fi, mythology, suspense and mystery, and coming of age. Yes, of a robot. It's beautiful and powerful exploration of important questions about humanity. What makes a person? What makes a life worth living and remembering? How do our beliefs and observations change the world, and vice versa? I cannot wait for everyone to read this book because I need to discuss and debate it. 5 stars.
Sounds like she's religious in real life, and she just liked it because it was like, religion works. Praying works.
Yeah.
I know that wasn't in the review.
but that was your feeling. That was an interpretation.
Yeah.
I just don't understand any of these people. Catherine says, I wonder how long it will take for someone to try to get this powerful, profound, and astonishing book banned. Translation, it's a must-read. 5 stars.
Oh, my God.
Who would ban this book?
Well. Yeah, for
what
reason? Yeah.
Yeah. I would say it's like actually the least offensive book I could ever imagine reading.
Yeah.
Like, who could it offend?
Like, even if they're like, it's too vague to get like the truck that pollutes upset, because like, what is that truck?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Even if you are a mass polluter, it's not about you.
No, it's like that dumb robot just was obsessed with the sun. Yeah. All right.
There's actively no sex in it. The kids, Rick and Josie, like say to Claire, come on in the room. We're not gonna have sex. So it's actively.
And then
That's
she
like the
just
most
sat.
profane thing in the book is when she says we're not going to.
I was surprised. That's actually when I was like, wait, how old are they again? Oh, they're teenagers. I was like, what is this 10-year-old saying? All right. You guys want to do hate rates?
Don't worry.
I can go.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Let me talk it out because it's obviously losing a ton of points for using my fucking name.
Yeah.
Like that
Get 'em.
sucks so bad. That sucks so bad. Then the book was like super boring. But like Johnna said, inoffensive. And after reading that book last time, that was like 24 hours of child abuse in a book. It was nice to just have something like so monotone droning on, you know, you can listen to it before bed, get you sleepy, like I said. So I guess I'm gonna go 3 out of 5. No, 2.5 out of 5.
Yeah, I'm gonna rate this 3 out of 5. It is the most nothing book I've kind of read in a while. It's neither compelling nor boring, offensive nor inoffensive, good nor bad. It's going to leave me as soon as we finish. The second that I hit stop, I'm never going to think about this book again. And I'm sorry to say that. So that's why it gets a 3, which is not right in the middle of 0 and 5, but I'm bad at math.
You know how they, in like the art world, they'll say like motel or hotel art is like meant to be just plain inoffensive. You don't really notice it, but it's there. This book is kind of like hotel art.
Actually, it's funny because to me, I actually thought about this book as like that kind of art that's like where they just throw paint on the canvas and then it's like supposed to be really meaningful and like people give it awards and stuff. And I'm like, this feels like a child wrote it. I don't understand what you guys are all seeing. That's what I felt like, because I was like, I don't get it. This guy.
the preachiness at the end and stuff, I guess.
I'm not with it. Okay, so for me, this book, it was short apparently, but it took forever. Like, I was afraid I wasn't going to finish it in time. And I will say it's going to get a point, because when I was imagining it was going to a Munchausen by proxy, and that like the mother was evil and it was going to get really dark, I was like kind of excited for that to happen, even if it was taking forever. That did not happen, so that's going to lose a point, definitely. Other than that, I think about this book, and I think there's a lot of Mean Book Club books that are like bad, but in a way that's enjoyable, and I would recommend them. I just didn't find this enjoyable at all. Like, I can't imagine. I don't think there's one person I would be like, oh, you'd like this. I don't know who this is for. They're not my friends. Sorry. I'm going to give this a 1.5 out of 5.
Okay.
Yeah, I respect it. I'm assuming it's also losing some points for stealing my name.
Yeah, sure.
I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5. Foremost for using Clara's name.
Thank you.
And yeah, I don't know. Like, I felt like the literal words were written kind of well, but
true.
there were, yeah, it was very legible, but there were still like gaps in things, which if they were intentional, that's annoying. If they were unintentional, that's annoying. So there's no way that it wasn't annoying. And yeah, I also don't know exactly what we were supposed to take away. Is religion good? Is it bad? I mean, I guess maybe that's what we're supposed to take away, is like, maybe it's good, maybe it's bad. But you know what? I knew that before I went in. So it was a lot of time
Didn't affect you.
to hear something I knew.
Understood. So what's the
2 out of 5.
2 out of 5. Okay, yeah. All right. Johnna, where did you go?
She sent a message in the chat. Feeling a little sick.
Oh, okay. All right. So it's not just that she didn't want us to look at her. I thought maybe she just didn't want us to look at her face, and I was going to mock her, but she's literally gone.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Interesting. Well, interesting.
I thought she didn't want to be voted for.
Interesting, because we're going into
fucker.
a little fucker of the cast. And
Yeah, and I mean, I'm absolutely voting for her because of the whole Clara 1, Clara 2 thing, but she knew that. She knew that one. She did it.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna vote for Johnna, because she said she's suddenly got a tummy ache and she can't appear. Like, is she bleeding internally? Okay, no.
I hope not.
Yeah, did she just get in a car accident?
Like, what? Yeah, what happened here? I don't know, and I don't believe it. And
if she thought she was going to get sympathy from us.
Well, I'm going to vote as Johnna.
Okay.
And
all right.
as Johnna, I feel like I'd vote for Sarah.
Okay.
Because of the comments about Clara being martyr like Johnna. And so Clara's not a flattering character to be compared to. So
The robot. Clara the robot.
Clara the robot. So as Johnna, I vote for Sarah. But as Sabrina, my God, Johnna, I can't believe you voted for Sarah. She was so funny, the whole cast. Jesus Christ, I have to vote for you for that vote.
Okay. All right, good. I love that. I love when our friends are ill, we will make them asshole the cast. Okay, it's weird. We're gonna have to give you an explanation next episode, because I need to know what's going on. But
I don't think we owe Johnna. We have to
for the listeners.
Listeners, what happened to
They'll wanna
Johnna?
know.
I see. I thought you were like, we owe
To
Johnna
tell
an explanation.
No, we don't. But you guys, what are we reading next week? What's our next episode? What's our next?
We are reading Think and Grow Rich.
Oh, by Napoleon Hill.
By Napoleon Hill.
Oh.
So we might actually not even be here next time because we're going to be so rich.
Yeah, we're
and
going to be like, fuck
on
this cast.
Vacation.
Napoleon Hill is like definitely, he's historically, I think, like a bastard, so it should be a fun one. You guys, you can follow us on Mean Book Club on all the socials. Please become a patron, Patreon. You know that for maybe a while, maybe you were just getting photos of Alfie, which were great. Were great gifts. But we are really stepping it up, and now you're getting bonus episodes. You're getting bookmarks. Like, come on. Why don't you guys become a patron?
The bookmarks are funny.
Yeah.
They've got outlandish quotes, some of the most outlandish quotes from Mean Book Club books over the past 14 seasons.
And I'm personally proud of myself because Johnna did not run the design by me, and I didn't complain about it. So
wow.
I feel pretty good about myself.
I'm sorry we didn't pick up on that. Yeah, good job, Sarah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You're the real hero of this whole bookmark situation.
Thank you. Thank you.
It was your idea, right?
All right, guys. We'll see you next episode. We love you. Bye.
Bye. Bob.
Get her. I hope she...